Hello everybody, it's Marie here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be showing you a faux metal card with the technique faux metal, and I'll be using the Geared Up Garage stamp set. I was recently asked by one of my viewers, Natalie, to make a masculine card, so I thought this card would be perfect and this stamp set would be perfect for this card and this technique. So the images I'm using today are the car, the oil slick and the bolts. So we'll get started on our project. I'm using a piece of 4 by 8 inch smoky slate cardstock and I've scored it at 4 inches. So I'm just going to fold and burnish the score line. And I actually forgot to bring my bone folder, so I'm just going to use my block as my bone folder. We improvise. Then we've got 2 pieces of 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch whisper white cardstock, and then we've got a scrap piece of thick whisper white cardstock, and it is large enough to fit the car image. Okay, so with this, to start off with, we're going to do some stamping with this image, with this cardstock here. I'm going to bring that oil slick and that bolts images there. I'm going to use some smoky slate ink for the oil slick. So I'll be using my little craft sheet, silicone craft sheet, and I'll have that to the side and it'll act like a piece of paper. Okay, so I'm just going to ink up that oil slick image there, stamp off, and then just stamp on there, stamp off, stamp off there. And it doesn't have to be perfect, so I just like to make it a little bit light but not overly dark, and I'll keep the middle there plain. So I'll just fill up any spaces there with some of this, any white. So I kind of keep it really monochromatic. So I'm just going to wipe that off and then it's good to go again. And I'll just wipe that off with my chamois. Then I'm going to get my bolts image with basic grey, and we're going to stamp it at full strength right round the card, just in random fashion, but mainly concentrated around, because what I'll do is I'll be covering basically that middle part up. So just along the edges, little bolt there and there, and just fill it up. So keeping it very monochromatic. I think with men's cards you don't have to go fussy, which is lovely, but I want to add a little bit of wow without overdoing it. Okay, so now I'm just going to wipe everything down, and this little craft sheet is going to come in incredibly handy. Alright, so now we've done this, I'm going to put that over the top, and it already looks absolutely beautiful. So what we're going to do with this inner piece of cardstock as well is we're going to stamp the inside as well, and I'm going to stamp it along the bottom there. So I forgot to do that. So that's in smoky slate, stamp off and here like that, and then I'm going to use the basic grey full strength, and I'll just stamp one of the bolts there, and that's it. That's the inside of the card all done. So get rid of that and that and that. Alright, now with this little piece of cardstock here, as I said, it is big enough to put the car image there. What we're going to do with this is we are going to ink this up with Versamark ink. So I'll just do that directly. Okay, and we are going to heat emboss this with silver embossing powder. And we'll be doing it out of total of 5 times because I want this to have a thick coverage. So I'll pick it up and we'll ink this, we'll put embossing powder all over. And as I said, we're going to have a very thick coating of that. Make sure we cover it with some embossing powder. So this is silver embossing powder. Then we're going to heat emboss this. I'll just grab one of my pokey tools. Out much better. So I needed to remelt it and do it again, but I think that is just brilliant. Okay, so I'll just pack a few things away here and we'll get started on the card. So I think it turned out brilliant. All right, just give me a second and I'll get all this organised. Just cleaned up my desk a little bit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this card together. So I'll start off with the inner panel. And I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. And if you'd like to purchase the Geared Up Garage stamp set, which is this gorgeous one over here, fantastic for men and for women. And you'd like to purchase anything else you've seen in this video, like the inks and the Versamark and the heat tool, not exactly the one that I've used, but we do sell a heat tool, I'd really appreciate your business. And this just helps to keep the content going for you, because yeah, that way you can get your free tutorials. And I actually enjoy making tutorials as well, but I'll keep them free for you this way as well. So if everyone purchases every so often, that will help me to continue on this free content for you. So we'll just continue on with the card here, and I'm going to put on that panel, the front panel of the card. Very monochromatic, but I think sometimes the more monochromatic something is, the more striking it is. So that looks brilliant, and I love the silver colour. That could be well liked by any man. And look at this on top. Isn't that gorgeous? And I'll just give you a close-up of that. That looks super duper cool. I love this. And then you can add a sentiment either down here or up here, whatever you wish. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to just give it a little bit of a warp this way, so it can sit a little nicer. But look at that metallic finish. Isn't that gorgeous? And that's just done with a piece of cardstock and embossing paper. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of that. So I'll just bring some of those out. Oops, where are they? All right. Now, because this is warped, I'm going to put quite a few on there just so it ensures it stays put. So it's like that and like that. I want to really make sure it stays down. I think that's enough. I've overdone it with the dimensionals, but I think in this case it's well worth it. So we'll just press down on the back of those with my nail, and it easily pulls up the backing. So I'll just take that off. Oops, that one's not so easy. Come on. And that one. Now, this is a technique I have seen around for a very long time, many years. You can use any stamped images you like, even die cuts, and make them faux metal. And I just thought I'd bring it to you as well, because I rediscovered this technique recently and I thought it was wonderful. So we'll pop this right in the middle here. Make sure it's even on either side of that. Okay, and that will do. So just stick that down. And there is my finished card for today. I think this is super cute. Let me know your thoughts. And then you can add your sentiment. Now that looks a little bit crooked, so I've got to fix that. I've got to fix that, sorry. If I don't fix it, I will get very upset. Oh, okay, come on. Luckily, I didn't stick it down for long. And I'll just slightly move it there. Much better now. Okay, so it's nice and even now. So I just had to move it just ever so slightly. So that's my finished card for today. As I said before, if you're interested in purchasing from me, I would really appreciate your business. Anywhere in Australia you're from, I would love that. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and rediscovered an old technique, but looks wonderful, even with more modern stamp sets. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye. Hi everyone. It's been 24 hours since I've done this card, and upon looking at it, I wasn't pleased 100% with it, and there was no way I was going to put out a video that didn't satisfy me 100%. So I like what I did with this, and I love the technique of using the faux metal with the embossing. However, I felt that this looked washed out with the background also being like a silver, like a light, grey. So I thought what I will do is I'm going to add a piece of basic grey cardstock to layer on top of that to kind of help bring that up a bit, and also make the background a little bit more subtle but also striking at the same time, because this just looks washed out to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of the dimensionals that I've got on the back. So I've got a little spatula here that I use for my die cutting machines to undo it. So I'm just using this now to just undo my dimensionals here at the back without destroying this. That's one way of rescuing your card without destroying it. And so I love the way this turned out. It's actually quite nice. So what I'll do with this is I will stick this together. And when I put it on here, this will just go right across that. So basically it's 3 3/4 across by 2 1/8 inches to sort of layer this. And it just gives it a whole, I think it looks a lot better with that layering piece of, what's it called again? Basic grey cardstock. So what I will do is I'll actually stick that down directly onto the cardstock there with some liquid glue. Okay, just right across that. So you don't see that mess at all, which is great. Okay, so it's just a strip across, put it up a bit more like that. And then with this, actually, I will just pop that up again on dimensionals. So I'll just grab those. It's not even. Anyway, regardless of what it is, I'll just put it on. Slightly move it over, just so. And that's my finished card for today. I hope you like it. If you have any questions at all or you'd like to purchase from me, please contact me through my online store at pepperlyrosepapercrafting.stampinup.net, or you can buy through my online store at that address. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you like the fix that I have. I think it stands out a little bit better. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.